What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for today's Music and Mayhem Hour. It might go a little bit longer than that, guys, but in case you guys weren't here last week, we did announce some new things, changes here coming to the stream. So I hope you guys are all ready to get ready to do this, to cast your vote, guys. You want to scoot over me?
Okay, so I got to get up here, front and center. Berserkers in the house. So
yes, guys. Today we're going to be voting. You guys are going to be able to join here in on the fun. And what you're going to do is you're going to be able to vote. You're going to be able to cast your vote. You got to invite all your friends to come here and vote for the best 80s metal band. We have assimilated a... Well, actually, you know what? For one, let me start off by saying that we stole this whole idea from Fanjecture. I'm not sure if you guys know who Fanjecture is. He does this really awesome stream. He's a channel here on YouTube. Does this awesome stream every Wednesday where you get to go in and cast your own vote for these like best whatever category it is. And I'm gonna be on his show again this Wednesday. We're gonna be doing Pixar movies this week. Yeah, right. I know. I'm that guy for that.
Yeah, Fanjecture is already getting salty about it. Here, see him?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's lurking. Yeah. Okay, now, like I said, we did steal this idea from Fanjecture, this whole thing to run these polls. Yeah, that's right. We're running our polls all in your face.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to partake in our polls, and you're going to love it.
Big white. Big white.
Yeah, polls. You're here for polls. Okay, but today we're going to be we're going to be showing you our polls for the best 80s metal band, and you get to partake. We're going to, give it a few minutes here. We're going to, kind of chat it up just a little bit. Just so you guys can get in here and get settled, invite all your friends, tell all your peeps to get here and join us.
Okay.
But yeah, we got some polls that we're going to run for you.
And not the kind of polls that live in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, not those kind of polls neither.
Yeah, nothing wrong with them. They're doing all right, those guys. But we're talking about metal, so we'll talk about metal.
Yeah, and so
politics.
And what we're gonna do is here towards the end of the show, we're actually gonna ask you and let us know maybe down in the comments below. For next week's show, what should we do a top of?
We had three choices: best '90s metal band. We could just do it generation by generation.
Best '90s metal band.
I personally wanted to do one for best suicidal albums because we had to pick a band. If we want to pick a band and do the best album of one particular band, and it has to be a band that has at least 8 albums to do this. So I don't know if that's popular enough. Not enough people know what's up with ST out there, unfortunately. So that's why we sort of picked these bands. It's not all the there's obviously millions of other bands from the 80s that we could have picked, but we decided to go with the ones that were probably about the biggest ones, with the exception of maybe Overkill in there, who they're going to be on every list for the best band for me because they're the best band. But that's just me. So, shall we go over the... yeah, there we go. So, shall we go over the bands now and why we chose these? Because I think the little explanation is in order before someone says, oh, Judas Priest had some albums in the 70s. They really started in the 70s. We know that. Yeah. We know that. Yeah,
right. And so yeah, we did compile a list here of bands to put in here, and yeah, there is going to be some overlap of them. And here's what we did. I know what you're thinking. I know Adam is probably out there watching right now, and yeah, my bracket looks all shitty compared to yours right now. But one of these days we're going to catch up to you, buddy. We're going to have the nice production value that you do, pal. It's
not a contest. We're having a conversation.
Yeah.
You can look as crap.
We stole your idea, and yeah, it looks like crap, but it's okay. Because we're still getting it done. That's all that really happens. That's what it's really about, right? Is coming together and having fun. Did you invite all your friends here yet? Did you guys invite your friends here yet? You guys better hurry up. So yeah, we got 7 people here in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay, so here's what we got, guys. Our top 8 bands, 80s metal bands. Okay, we got number 1 at Metallica. We've got number 2 at Megadeth. The number 3 seed is Iron Maiden. Number 4 is Judas Priest. Number 5 is Slayer. Number 6 is Anthrax. And number 7 is Testament.
Number 8 is Overkill. I don't know if you skipped over that or... Overkill is number 8, so shit, obviously.
To be fair, Trinity's the only one who keeps talking shit, not me.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, family.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Okay.
I just slapped all this stuff together really quick. It's the best I could do on such short notice because I've been so busy
Okay.
with a whole bunch of crap. But hey, man, hey.
We're not doing musicians versus musicians. Rob is saying, "Oh, James versus Alex Skolnick." I would say, as far as James is a better songwriter, but we're not doing that. So let's move on.
Right. Yeah. Who is this guy, anyways? Robert.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I bet he would never have the balls to get on camera.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, come say that to my face, pal. No, dude, I just the friends to come here. Oh, okay. All good, Wookie. Well, I just meant everybody. I'm telling, like, LB too. He's one of those. LB's one of those cool dudes, and he always tells everybody on Twitter and stuff. Anyway, so we'll give everybody a few minutes to trickle in. But yeah, guys, we got this thing all set up. You're gonna be able to cast your vote in these. So what do you guys think? For one, I guess let's get back to what do you guys think about these? What do you guys think about these matchups? For one, what do you think about Metallica versus Overkill, Judas Priest versus Slayer, Iron Maiden versus Anthrax, and Megadeth versus Testament in the first round?
Okay. So it was a dramatic pause. Let me also say, just before anyone gets on the chat and starts talking shit, there's a reason why Motorhead isn't in here. That's out of respect for Lemmy. Lemmy said specifically he's not a metal band, he's a rock and roll band. So I'm going to honor him. Okay? So if any of you are saying, why isn't Motorhead in there? Well, you know what? You don't care about Lemmy, so I don't care about your opinion.
Wookie Supremacy says, "Oh man, I'm modding my Salt Right stream right now, man."
Salt Right, I need to check that out. Sounds like a good. Good channel.
Yeah. LB says, "I am here." Wookie says, "LB can approve all the cussing, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Van Jexer is lurking. We got I am True Skills. What is up, my brother? How are you doing? Fly Fox Pro says, "Hola, Metallica." Woo!
Yeah.
We'll see how they're going to fare tonight.
I'm predicting they are going to. Well, I mean, they're up against Overkill, so they can't win in a fair fight against Overkill. So that's just me. But all these folks.
Okay, I ditched them. Metal over politics. Gotta have priorities, you know. To be fair, Trinity. Okay. Robert Bocox's fans says no. I ditched the friends. I think you have some pretty unfair matchups. Well, I wouldn't really for sure how else to. I mean.
I knew it.
Yeah, I wasn't really for sure how else to match them up.
Everybody's Roger Ebert.
You know, like, I mean, because really, like, you think about, you know, ranking them 1 through 8. I mean, you know, if you think, I mean, the matchups come through that way. Because if you go over there and you look at it, I mean, of all these bands here, I mean, let's take a look at them. Number 1, Metallica. Number 2 is Megadeth. Number 3 is Iron Maiden. Number 4 is Judas Priest. I mean, arguably, I mean, we could maybe reshuffle those a little bit.
Now, if anyone wants to get in the comments here and tell us about if there was a band in here that should be knocked off in favor of someone who was a better seller in the 80s, because that's what we try to do to make it as popular as possible. That's why there's Iron Maiden and Metallica and obviously and Slayer and Judas Priest. I'm not a Judas Priest fan. I'll just tell you right now. But I know that they were big in the 80s. So
yeah,
I don't hate them. Don't start. Start getting salty.
Yeah, and I just think that's kind of how all of these rank also. And also just, you know, honestly, on the number seating, I just stole that from Fanjecture as well. Mm-hmm. I just stole that number seating from him so you can, like, you know.
Oh, hey, someone mentioned Scorpions. I actually about mentioned Scorpions, but not that. They're just a rock band.
Yeah, I'd say they're more rock.
Because they're also kind of the same category of Judas Priest, too. I mean, they were around since the 30s, I think, those guys.
Yeah, right? Matt Santiago's a Spinal Tap.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. Oh, yeah, big bottoms. Talking about mud flaps. Yeah. My girl's got them.
Okay, so these are gonna be the matchups, guys. I guess first, the first one we're gonna start here will be Metallica and Overkill. Will be the first one that we're gonna talk. It's gonna be the first ones going up against each other tonight. But let's talk a little bit about Metallica and Overkill. And guys, you know we'll wait for that. We'll wait for that. Okay, we're gonna wait for that.
What are we gonna wait for?
Yeah, you'll see in a minute. Everybody else probably already knows what we're waiting on here. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and talk about Metallica and Overkill.
All right.
Rich. And you guys let us know what you guys think about Metallica and Overkill down in the comments below.
So I gotta say I've got to give Metallica props for sort of their one. Well, I think I discovered Overkill before, so I can't even say it. But they were sort of a pioneer. They did bring up a lot of bands. they did break new ground on a number of their albums, and they sort of were the leader of the metal, of all metal for several years. Like everyone followed their lead. When they did a mellower album with shorter songs, Megadeth came out with an album afterwards. They did Countdown to Extinction after their Black album. So everyone,
Black Album was the '90s though, technically.
Well, I know. I'm just talking about. We're talking about the band in general. Okay,
we're talking about the '80s. We're talking about
okay,
80s
so we're going to restrict to what they released in the '80s. Well, that's good. That's good because then the Black album doesn't count against them, and neither does Load.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, those don't count against Metallica because we're talking '80s here.
Do what they did in the '80s. So
'80s.
So Judas. I can't think of a Judas Priest album from the '70s. That cannot go into your voting decision. All right, the jury is will disregard the '70s Judas Priest album.
Yeah, this is '80s.
'80s. Okay, so as far as the '80s went, and what do you think of Metallica? Why don't you say a thing or two about Metallica?
Well, I mean, Metallica is really, the '80s is really when they kind of grew up and like made their name big. Anyway, starting out, really just doing like thrash albums and just crazy stuff. I mean, it really sounded like garage band type of music up until you got to like Master. I don't know, maybe Master of Puppets was still kind of had that sound to it too.
The thing you say garage because those garage days that actually got me into Metallica. That's I heard like a little bit of them before, and I didn't really know what to think. But the garage days, I was just like a friend of mine popped that in. I was like, who is this? He wouldn't tell me who it was because it was your cousin actually, Eli.
Yeah. Your
cousin Eli. So he's the one responsible for all this. But that was they were great. Now, like I said, they even in the '80s, as we are sure, they opened up a lot of doors for people. Got to give them mad respect for. They really paved the way. Not only were people following them, but they were opening doors. And when they were able to do something do the big tour with Ozzy, and then do the Master of Puppets tour, that was a pretty crazy thing in metal history. Because after that, then the other bands that were heavy like Metallica were able to. They said, "Oh well, we can do this. We can sell out these sort of." We can sell records like that. We don't have to be completely underground, even though they weren't mainstream as far as record sales or getting on the radio, but they were doing it, So that's what I think about Metallica. Now, what about Overkill? Oh yeah, you don't know anything about them, do you?
Yeah, as I say, I'm not very familiar with Overkill myself. I mean, I do know a few of their songs, but beyond that, I mean, my vote here would completely go for Metallica because, like I said, I know a few Overkill songs, but not anything major. So I would have to say I'm a bigger fan of that group, but you can go ahead and...
Well, I'll just say because Overkill is probably always, if anyone asks me what's my favorite metal band, it's probably always going to be Overkill. It's going to be my go-to answer just right off the top of my head. I've been a fan of theirs since, I can't say since day one, but since I saw their first video on MTV, which was off of... It wasn't Feel the Fire was their first one. It was after In Union We Stand was the name of the song, but I'm trying to think of the albums. Yes, I'm such a huge fan. I can remember everything, right? But I've been with them since then. They did some amazing things in the 80s. Unfortunately, later on, Beavis and Butthead made fun of them for Hello to the Gutter, but that was an incredible breakthrough song and a breakthrough album, I thought. The Elimination video they had on MTV also, they did get the mainstream breakthrough to a degree. They were just an incredible band. I always liked their style. The bass player inspired me to play bass. I was going to play drums, and then I think I listened to some Dee Dee Verney like parts in some Overkill songs, and I decided I wanted to go to bass. And that wasn't the only thing though. It was also I priced how much a drum kit cost, and a bass guitar is a little cheaper, so I went with that. But in any case, I've always been a hardcore fan of theirs. They put out albums every few years. They're one of the hardest working bands in the world, and not liking them is incorrect. So everybody needs to vote for them.
All right. Sounds good enough. Okay, let's see if that ended up working here. Okay, I almost forgot to do something here for whenever we're getting ready to do these votes here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Did it? Okay.
How many viewers we have now? Are we voting?
Let's hope that we're not voting yet, but let's hope that this worked here. Okay. Did that work? I don't know.
Yeah. What's all this?
I don't know.
Up the irons.
I guess we'll see here. Okay, let's see if this is gonna work here.
I'd rather scoop my... Okay, Wookiee Supremacy says, I'd rather scoop my eyes out with forks than listen to the Scorpions ever again. They're not that bad. I never once bought a Scorpions album, though. I just sort of am familiar with them, so that's just my take on that.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go. I think I got it now. All right. Okay, guys. Now, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to... Basically, now we're going to open up the...
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Max Santiago. I haven't thought about metal in terms of who is best in decades, but the list, yeah, it's just fun. You know, you can go ahead and vote whoever you want. You're wrong if you disagree with me. We'll just do it that way.
Yeah. Apex Comics, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody who is here, looks like we got 7 people here. Thank you all so much for being here. Like I said, let all your friends know. Invite them. And we'll, like I said, we'll reach out to me if there's other things that other matchups that you think we should do one of these days as well. So we're going to go ahead and open up the polls for you guys to cast your vote. This is going to be round 1. And, oh, dang, man, why I keep doing this? Keep messing this thing up here. Okay.
Great.
Hey, man, this is my first time doing this.
Some YouTuber you turned out to be.
I know, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open it up. We're going Metallica versus... Overkill. Okay, so to cast your vote, we're going to start the poll. You're going to have to vote vote space 1 or 8. The poll is opening now. It will be open for 3 minutes. You can see that there on the screen how to cast your vote.
Go.
So all you got to do is in the chats. All you have to do is type in there. Type vote space 1 for Metallica or 8 for Overkill. You got 3 minutes to do so, and in the meantime, we will catch up with anything we missed here in the chat. And let's see. And did I get that on there? Did I get that? Okay, yeah, got that. Perfect.
Here we are.
Perfect. Okay.
Here we are.
So let's see if that. So let's see if
Overkill
that's
wins. Poll's closed.
Okay, and it will give you a confirmation there, and you can see that there in the chats, guys. Where you can cast your vote. Like I said, to vote for Metallica, you put vote space 1, or if you want to vote for Overkill, you put vote space
8.
8. Put that down in the comments below, and like I said, you can go look there in the chats, and it'll tell you how to do that. Exactly how to do that. You do gotta put the space in there and the number. So let me see if I can find a way to put that on there for you to see that. Let's see. There's gotta be a way I can do this.
Okay.
Text. Oh man, this is gonna mess up some stuff too. Watch.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I knew it.
Dead air, man. Dead air means dead.
No, we're not dead. There we go. See, I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen because I have hotkeys set up. But yeah, put vote and then the number.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we're even right now. Okay.
Just like you can see right here in the screen, folks, where it shows there. It shows the vote, just like it says there in the little quotes. Vote 1. Vote 8.
Oh God. Wookiee Supremacy. He's a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's not me. It's not me. It's Streamlabs. It's Streamlabs. That's the way that you have to go in there and do it. I know it's pretty. Maybe can you? Nah, I doubt you can't copy and paste it on there, can you? But it's tricky. I know it's tricky. Let's see
how much.
All
the technical stuff.
Oh,
I
man,
just sit here and look pretty.
I don't even think I casted my vote.
Oh no. So we've got 2 votes for Metallica. No. Ow. Palpatine, no.
There it goes. Oh, see, there we go again. That's me. It's them hotkeys. It's them hotkeys. Did I get it in time?
Oh, it looks like it did. So
it looks like I did. Oh, I don't know.
Well, it looks like the The Sellout Kings won it.
Oh man. Let's see. Ooh, you know what? What happened here?
Sober Weekend won it. Yeah, James has to have sober weekends now. Do you know that?
Okay. So let's see. What were the results here? What were the results? It looks like we got 3 votes total. It looks like Metallica got 2 and Overkill got 1.
Too small of a sample size. We need more votes, but you know, we got to keep playing with the army we have, not the army we need. I guess, right? Isn't that what the saying goes?
I guess so.
In the 7 branches on a squirrel's something, uncle's ranch.
So it looks like Metallica is the one that's going to be moving on here. Let's go ahead and take and get Metallica over there.
There we go.
There we go. And Metallica beats out Overkill in round 1. Guys, okay, so next up it looks like we've got Judas Priest versus Slayer. Okay, yeah, and just like it shows there, guys, I know it's a little bit difficult. It's Streamlabs. It's the way they have it all set up in order to do that, but you have to put exclamation, vote, and then space, and then the number that it is. Like, it's just, like, no spaces or anything. Only a space in between exclamation, point, vote, and the number. I know. It's, yeah, it would be great if I could just put it where you could just put Metallica in there. But I can't get it to do that. It's not the way it works. Dang it. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, yeah. We got to work with it. Okay, so the next matchup we got here is Judas Priest versus Slayer.
Now.
Okay, and remember, guys, we're going 80s here. This is the 80s. Their music that they did in the 80s.
Correct.
So go ahead and start with Judas Priest, Richard. What do you have to say about Judas Priest?
Not a whole lot. I have their Turbo album. That's it. I'm familiar with the rest of their stuff, and I should probably give them some attention, but they just never really did it for me for whatever reason. Like they didn't inspire me to put down my $10 for a CD. So I'm sorry to say that. I'm not a Judas Priest hater or anything like that. That just didn't do it for me, or they just didn't excite me that much. But they were big in the 80s, and so we've got to give them a lot of props for what they did, and they certainly sold a lot of tickets back in the day. And I think also the thing with Judas Priest is they were, because of the fact that they were around in the 70s too, they were established before that. They were sort of one of those things that was like, oh, that's what the older guys that like metal listen to, you know. And I'm like, I like Metallica, or whatever, or Iron Maiden or whatever, you know. So that's just my sort of take on that.
Yeah, as far as me, like Judas Priest, I mean, I'm not like super familiar with them. I mean, but I think definitely a top 80s metal bands. I mean, they're definitely deserving to be on this list. I'm not as familiar, like I said, with them, but I mean, I do remember when I was growing up, we had MTV when I was growing up, and I remember seeing all the old videos and everything, breaking the law and all that stuff. And it's not just a Beavis and Butthead thing. I remember seeing those videos when I was growing up. I do have a story
of this again from one of your cousins. That I heard this rumor that listening to it would make your head explode, because they had that video. Which video? I think it was Turbo, where the guy's head did explode.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, so and that was the rumor going around. You hear all these things about, oh, well, if you listen to metal, you're satanic. If you wear black clothes, you're satanic. And you heard all these little silly rumors back then.
Yeah. Remember, like if you had an earring in the wrong ear.
If it's in your left ear, it's because you do drugs. If in your right ear, it's because you're gay. So I never put an earring in my right ear, just just in case.
Yeah. Just like your wallet too. It goes in the right side, not the left. If you're putting it in your left.
I never heard that.
Oh, well, everybody puts theirs in their right. So if you're doing it wrong, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay, we haven't opened up the poll yet here, guys. So then, who else? What was the other band that we're going up against? Slayer. Okay, let's go ahead and get into Slayer. What is there not to say about Slayer back in the 80s?
Right, they were for a while there. Of course, what was happening in the 80s and into the 90s was people were always trying to one up bands, right? But for a good while, Slayer was the craziest band anyone ever heard of, and they were crazy. They were crazy fast. Of course, people got faster and crazier later, but you can only go so far. And I think we talked about that when we were talking about Great Southern Trendkill.
Right.
Right, because that was the intention of stated intention of Pantera. But in any case, they were the craziest, heaviest band that anyone had heard of for a couple of years anyway. Like if you were a Slayer fan, like you're like, oh, you are Slayer, you're hardcore, and they seriously, I thought that they wrote incredibly interesting riffs on top of just being fast. The stylings of Hanneman and King were unique. No one else sounded like them. So, and they, of course, sang about a lot of taboo things that made everyone think they were Satan worshipers and all this crazy stuff. Yeah, because, the devout Catholic singer of the band was a Satan worshiper too somehow. I don't know, but no one knew that back then. But in any case, Slayer was a very, very important part of my life at one point.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, I mean, Slayer out of out of Slayer and Judas Priest, I would say Slayer is a band I like definitely a lot more, but probably that I've heard a lot more as well. And yeah, their stuff that they were doing back in the 80s. I mean, it's just music that holds up today, man.
Right.
As far as the standards of, I mean, just like metal and thrash in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, it's just. I don't know, man. It's just badass, and yeah, I mean, I get the correlation, like people, it's Satan music and all that stuff. I mean, I get it, but you know what, like I love hearing that shit, dude. I'm a headbanger, man. I'm a headbanger, so like I love hearing that.
It's just kind of silly though, because they accuse me of being of that, but I mean, like they sing about serial killers too. Do you think they're out there going like in between shows while they're out there on the road picking up hitchhikers and skinning them alive and shit like that? I mean, come on, it's just silly. They sing about things because it's shocking and extreme and interesting. You sing about things that intrigue you, and serial killers are intriguing people. They are, because it's so different than what we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snow Dub says, I just had to sit through a Plenty of Fish commercial. Dating site commercials for eternity. Oh, man. And I was getting ready to insert a commercial. I'm glad they put one in there for me. But, yeah, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and open up this vote here, what we're gonna be voting on. We're on Judas Priest versus Slayer, guys. So we're gonna start the vote here in just a second. But what you're gonna have to do is down in the comments, you're gonna have to do just like you did before. You're gonna put exclamation vote space and then the number of the seating that we're going to go in there, which will be 4 for Judas Priest and 5 for Slayer. I'm going to start the poll right now. You will have 3 minutes. Oh man, what's going on? What happened? Oh,
everything's fine, everybody.
Okay, never mind.
Don't
there
panic.
We go.
Everything's fine.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Come on,
Sorry.
Keep
okay,
watching.
Here we go.
Watching.
You got 3 minutes from right now to vote right here for either Judas Priest or Slayer. To vote, you could put exclamation vote 4 for Judas Priest or exclamation vote 5 for Slayer. You can see it there in the chat. So make sure you get your votes in, get them in, and get them done early. And it will give you, if you put it in there right, it gives you a confirmation in the chat. It will tag you in the post to let you know that it got counted.
Okay. There we go. Obviously, Slayer.
And guys, if you want, make sure that you subscribe or go follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Second Street Marvel. So you guys can, because I'm going to be running some polls here over the next week to see I don't know, maybe like different bands and things like that we want to put in some of these polls. Because like I said, at the end of the show, we're going to put up I'm going to ask you to go there and see what show we want to do next week.
Kind of starting to feel bad for Judas Priest. Kinda.
Why?
Well, no one's voting for them. No one likes Judas Priest? I mean, this is 80s metal. You think someone in the 80s metal...
Yeah, and remember, guys, this is just that we're limiting to just the 80s. This is just the 80s stuff.
Yeah.
Not the 90s stuff, but of course, I mean, for me, I mean, this one really, I mean, it has my my vote as well. And yeah, and on the seating, I mean, it's really hard to say, like what order to put any of these in, because like right off the bat, you don't want Metallica going against Megadeth right off the bat. You know what I mean? That's one that you want to wait for round 2 or round 3 or
No, they
Yeah,
well,
right.
Yeah, we kind of argued and wrestled about this a little bit. I put some, he gave me a black eye, but I put some makeup on, so we're good. But yeah, I did want Megadeth and Metallica to go head to head, as well as Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, because they seem like they're the two. And then I think Overkill and Testament, because they're sort of like the most compatible. But whatever, let's throw in some different stuff in here.
Yeah. And and who knows?
Tell us in the comments what you think. Who was right? Was I right?
Yeah. Superior hero reviews. You got to make sure you put exclamation point, vote, space, and then the number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's tricky. It's tricky, and it only lets you vote once, guys. It only lets you vote once. It's very technical.
Yeah, it's not like the. No.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Wookie got it. Yeah.
There you go. Good. We got it. Everyone's cool. Everyone's got a lot of votes in here. Huh?
Okay, so let's see here. We're
flaming inverted on stage maybe. Oh, he's talking about Slayer.
Yeah, Finn McCool is here. Yeah, bipolar nobody voted. Okay, Wookie's premise says because the flaming inverted pentagram on stage maybe. Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of that's just image too, because I mean, like Tom Araya, talked a lot about it, but I think he's Christian himself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Catholic. Yeah.
He's serious about it.
Yeah, like he's a devout Catholic too. Yeah,
he's the kind that like takes it serious.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. It looks like we got the looks like we got the votes in here. We got 9 votes. 9 votes total, guys. 9 votes total.
What's the clock saying?
It looks like with 9 votes total, it looks like Slayer wins the match. Looks like we got Slayer that wins it. Yeah. So
at no point was I expecting any other result. But I did think we get some Judas Priest fans in here that are like maybe some old guys. We don't have any old guys in here, huh?
I guess not. Not older than us, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, well.
Okay, guys. So I guess that does it for round 2. Okay, the next one we got coming up is Iron Maiden versus Anthrax, guys. Iron Maiden is going to be the number 3 seed. Anthrax is the number 6 seed. Going up against each other. We'll open up the voting in just a few minutes. But Rich, why don't you go ahead and share your feelings on Iron Maiden?
Iron Maiden, they're an incredible band. I can't say enough good things about them. Particularly the stuff they put out in the 80s. Holy shit. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I remember a friend of mine copied the tape for me, back when they did, illegal copying that way. And I would listen to that over and over and over. And it was just because it was great. It was a concept album, and you could follow it start to finish. The songs were long and complex. That was the first time I heard 7-minute songs, I believe. And they had also the satanic thing too. That for a while people thought they were Satan worshipers because they did a song about they did called 666, whatever. So there's a little bit of controversy there, but to me they're the thinking man's metal band, because the dude Bruce Dickinson, I was just thinking about him a few nights ago too. He just did so much. He was a fencer. He was a history professor. He was a pilot, for Christ's sake. He flies a 737. He flies them on tour. So he's an incredible man. Their lyrics, I probably learned more from their lyrics, or got exposed to new subjects about history and things like that than almost any other band there. That was always a plus for me, because I wasn't much of a student at the time. So if I was going to learn anything, it was going to have to be something that I was interested in, and he got me interested in a lot of different ideas and historical things. So yeah, I just can't say enough good things about them. They're unapologetically metal. They never did anything besides metal. Like some bands who, when the winds blew a different way, they decided they had to change their image or whatever.
Change it up a little bit. Keep up with the times.
I love an interview, by the way. This is a side point, I guess. I think it was Steve Harris did an interview a while back, a few years ago, with the show about metal, and because they were a little bit faster than some of the other metal bands, even though they weren't that fast of a band, but they were a little bit faster. They had a little bit of a higher tempo in some of their songs. The guy kept on wanting to get him to say that they were somewhat punk inspired or they had something in common with punk, and he just would not have it. He was like, no, fuck the punks. You know, they're shit. I hate punk. Don't even try to associate us with that. So that was a cool thing about it. He's just a pure metalhead, start to finish. So I can't say enough good things about Iron Maiden. They've never disappointed me that I can think of. So.
Yes, and then and
let you talk about. You're the Anthrax fan.
As I'm saying, when it comes to Iron Maiden, I mean, like I know there's songs just from growing up and everything. I can't say that like I'm like some like really super big fan of Iron Maiden, but definitely like it's like that's music that I'm used to hearing like from my uncle, my uncle Lee. He used to listen to that stuff, or even like Eli and them, just hearing some of that stuff through them. When I was growing up, but yeah, certainly Anthrax out of all of these bands is my favorite out of these two bands. I was gonna say I'm a pretty big Anthrax fan, but even going from the '80s, you got to think this is more of their earlier stuff, because even like Persistence of Time I think was '91, so we're talking about music that was even earlier than that. We're talking like State of Euphoria. We're talking Spreading the Disease.
Yeah.
Some of that older stuff.
I think State of Euphoria is the one that kind of caught my attention. I was, for whatever reason, I didn't like them. I think because they did that. Like, I heard the Indian song and then that sort of rap one that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way at the time.
You don't like rap and you don't like Native Americans.
Well, what can I say?
Yeah. Typical.
Never confirm, never deny.
Yep.
But I think State of Euphoria did go. Oh, they were great, and then Persistence of Time came out after that. After I decided, Anthrax is not bad. Then Persistence of Time came out, and that was an incredible album.
Yeah.
Too. Since we're only talking about the '80s, we can't talk about the other guy that was in the band that I think we had a pretty long discussion about.
John Bush. Yeah.
We're not talking about.
Sorry.
that.
Yeah. This wasn't during the Bush administration.
Yeah. But yeah, they were of the big four. They were probably the ones that I paid the least attention to. But
Bipolar Nobody says, I've seen them all several times, usually on the same ticket. Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm. Anthrax and Iron Maiden really made me choose my loyalties. Shame upon your houses.
Well, that's a good thing. That's when it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
When it makes people say, "Oh, wait a minute, that's a hard pick. How hard decision."
Yeah.
So
Apex Comics 12 Comic Talk says I'm 50. That must be Kevin over there. Apex Comics says illegal copying before Napster.
Exactly. It was in that tape trading days, which is funny because that's what Metallica. That's how they got their start, and then they went in when it was like a new technology. Then all of a sudden it's not cool.
Yeah.
But they were right. They need to get paid for their bands. Need to get paid for what they produce.
Kevin says I was at the famous Long Beach Arena concert. Nice. Bipolar Nobody says this is hard, but I have to go Maiden. 12 Comic Talk says I've been to many Maiden gigs. Definitely Maiden, says Apex Comics. Maiden is classic metal. Yeah, definitely. Bipolar Nobody says the crowd participation at Maiden concerts is phenomenal. Wookie Supremacy says my Wi-Fi dropped. Fear of the Dark is incredible, says Fenrir Fire. Anthrax is classic thrash, says 12 Comic Talk.
Speaking of Maiden and concerts, that they are the one band. There's like maybe 3 bands that I haven't seen yet in my lifetime that I need to while they're still out, and Iron Maiden is at the top of that list. And the bad thing is they go out and tour pretty regularly, and I just whatever think I miss it.
Guys, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna Hexagon is sorry guys, wrong one there. We're gonna go ahead and open up the polls here, okay? So you're gonna have 3 minutes to cast your vote, all right, guys? You're gonna put exclamation vote space 3 for Iron Maiden, exclamation vote 6 for Anthrax. We're gonna go ahead and get this poll opened up. You will have 3 minutes to get your poll in, and there it is.
That's 180 seconds for those of you who are counting.
180 of them.
100.
So you got Iron Maiden going up against Anthrax, okay, and we'll see in just a minute who we got coming up. In the next round, we've got Metallica going against Slayer, man. Woo!
We got Megadeth and Testament first.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, in this next round coming up, right now.
Yeah.
So far we've got Iron Maiden going against Anthrax.
Do not change the channel. Stay right here so we can see what happens.
Yeah, make sure you cast your vote in there, guys. I know where my vote's going. I mean, obviously, I'm a huge Anthrax fan.
I think we can see where things are going here.
Oh no, that means is everybody voting the wrong way here? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, remember 3 is for Iron Maiden, everyone. So remember 3 is Iron Maiden.
Yeah, and remember 6 is for Anthrax, guys. Remember. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So far we got 6 and 2, Iron Maiden and Anthrax. Looks like Iron Maiden is taking
who
out
the hell else voted
Anthrax.
for Anthrax?
Somebody smart. Somebody smart voted for Anthrax.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Anthrax.
Let's see. Oh yeah, 1-2 Comic Talk did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Finn McCool went 3. Went with Iron Maiden. All right. Cue Ball here went with 3. Yova Rhodes went with Iron Maiden as well as Apex Comics and Bipolar Nobody and Wookiee Supremacy, of course. Try Iron Maiden mobile game Legacy of the Beast, says Wookiee Supremacy.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
Legacy of the Beast, yeah.
We'll have to check that out. Okay, so it looks like we got a minute and 20 seconds left. It looks like it's a pretty uneven vote here so far. Iron Maiden versus Anthrax. This is honestly really no surprise to me. I mean, Iron Maiden is honestly a bigger household name, in as far as the metal is concerned.
When we said when we're thinking of what the categories would be today, the first thing I thought of with 80s metal band is Iron Maiden. That's what you think of when you think of 80s metal.
Right. Yeah. Certainly. Yeah. And for me,
I'm telling you right now, if you think of something else when someone says 80 metals, you're not right. I'm telling you, that's what you think.
Yeah. And honestly, right here in this one, I mean, I'm biased completely, to Anthrax, but honestly, I mean, through the '80s, Iron Maiden is definitely the better band. Out of this whole lineup. So let's see. I think we still got a couple minutes there for Anthrax winning. Oh man, it just tilted even more. We got 7 votes in there.
Wow.
7 votes in there for Iron Maiden.
Wow,
it's doing it.
We're getting some views here. That's nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Even Mike L joined in. Voted. Got his Iron Maiden vote in. Yeah, and like I said, this one doesn't really come as any surprise. To me here. Who's going to be moving on for this next one?
Bipolar Nobody says
Fenrir or Wookiee Supremacy says, I'm right. You just don't know it yet. Fenrir Fire says, Maiden will definitely win. Bipolar Nobody says, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer wouldn't surprise me, though. They are the big 4. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yova Road says, I'm surprised you picked Anthrax. I love Anthrax. Like I said, I mean, I'm just a huge Anthrax fan. Even though arguably, like I said, I mean, Iron Maiden is the better band throughout the 80s. Arguably.
If we go by sales, yeah, but that's not really.
Okay, and the poll is done. It looks like the poll ended up being 7 votes to 2 votes for Anthrax. So it looks like that's who will be moving on here. We've got Iron Maiden moving on into the next round. Let's see.
Let's have someone looking here. Of course, they weren't alive in the 80s, so I don't know why I've sent it to them. Okay, yeah, so Maiden. Moving on up. Iron Maiden.
Maiden is moving on into the next round, guys. There we go. Bam! Okay, so the next one we got coming up is Megadeth versus Testament. This one should be another interesting round.
Right. Yeah, we could want to start talking about these guys.
Yeah. I mean, and you got to think we're going 80s here, so you think about the albums that we're going here through the 80s. Megadeth versus Testament. This Megadeth is probably more like I would have been more familiar with Metallica through the 80s than I was with Megadeth.
Okay. I was a Megadeth fan for a while before I ever even gave Metallica a chance for whatever reason. I think it's because they had the Peace Sells video, and I had a friend whose brother had that, and he had it recorded and let me borrow it for a while. Again, tape trading. That's how it worked back then. That's great.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things like this. I could tell this story with so many different bands though at the time because everything was so new to me. And they were going so many different directions with metal, but I had never heard something like what they were doing. It just blew me away, and it seemed like it wasn't formatted. Like I didn't really know much about music at the time, but it seemed like to me it wasn't formatted the way a lot of other music was. Like the way they wrote their songs, and they did like the way they wrote songs was different compared to what I had been listening to before with the standard format of like intro, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. Because they would do like Peace Sells Who's Buying. They just didn't it just end with Peace Sells Who's Buying like 100 times after the chorus. I'm trying to think. In any case, it doesn't matter. They were a big deal for me. So they were my. I don't remember if it was them or Overkill who was actually my first thrash band that I listened to, because they was about the same time. I got In Union We Stand, and then I got not In Union We Stand. That's like calling it epic. But Taking Over was the album for those of you watching at home. Taking Over, and around the same time I got So Far So Good So What, which is also an incredible album, which a lot of people like think of it as their worst for some reason. I don't understand, except for Risk. But in any case, and then Testament. How familiar are you with Testament?
I'm not very familiar with Testament at all. I mean, like at all, really. I mean, I'm sure I've heard their music and everything, just hanging out and shit back in the day. But as far as like knowing their music, not even close. I really can't say anything here.
Trinity and I are on Anthrax Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So Testament, I didn't discover them until a few years later, after I'd already been a big fan of thrash for whatever reason. I was familiar with they did a version actually of what was that, an Aerosmith song, which was pretty cool. And I think when the first album...
Was it Love in an Elevator?
No. Thankfully. And it was definitely not Dude Looks Like a Lady. I was going to sing a few... Never mind. So, in any case,
right.
So, yeah, and they had their... I think it was their third album. I had their albums before that, but the one that really got me, that I listened to over and over and over, and Kevin can attest to this, in my Toyota Celica, we listened to it over and over and over. That was Practice What You Preach, and that album is just incredible. Which is and Skolnick actually, for as far as like matching these bands up, Skolnick almost gives Mustaine a run for his money. He's an incredible, I think, an incredible and an underrated guitar player. He gets on the cover of Guitarist magazine and stuff. I think most people don't really like give him the credit due, because he plays some incredible stuff. And I had the honor or the privilege of seeing the two of them play together on tour with Slayer. I think we talked about this last time.
Nice.
And he's just an incredible player.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So,
Wookiee Supremacy says, I love Anthrax. I told Trinity these matchups were unfair. 1-2 Comic Talk. Kevin says, I missed the gig when Dave was still with Metallica. Oh, man, that sucks. The Four Horsemen. Nice. Says Wookiee Supremacy. Says, oh, you missed it. That blows. Bipolar Nobody says, Souls of Black is really the only Testament I know, but I have the entire Megadeth catalog, and Dave is my favorite guitarist of all time, so you know my vote.
Yeah, Testament, obviously.
Wookiee Supreme says, can we all just vote Megadeth now?
Yeah.
1-2 Comic Talk says, I have been to both artists' gigs, and I have worked with both Metallica and Megadeth. Nice.
Nice.
Bipolar Nobody says, sounds like me. That's funny. 1-2 Comic Talk says, Metallica at the Forum in LA and Megadeth at the Golden Gods Award. Nice. Nice. Good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and open up the voting now, guys. I know you're ready to get to it. You're gonna have 3 minutes to cast your vote here. You're gonna put exclamation vote 2 for Megadeth. You're gonna put exclamation space vote or exclamation vote space 7 for Testament. The poll is opening now. You got 3 minutes to get your vote in there, guys. So make sure you go in there and do that. Like I said, Megadeth versus Testament. This should be an interesting one. I know sometimes like some of these, like it seems like it might come down to what's the bigger household name. And honestly, I think that's kind of what went into the seeding more than anything. I mean, because that's really kind of what we're dealing with here when it comes to that. I mean, otherwise, I mean, thinking about like there's so many bands out there, to get everybody their due we'd have to do like take a whole lot of polls in order to come up with these polls for the polls.
Yeah. So tell us, what poll should we poll?
Yeah, what polls? What polls should we poll?
Did it catch my vote? Yeah. Okay. So we're good. It's
Yeah, I
official.
was gonna say sometimes
It's
it takes
official.
a second.
It's official. Yeah.
There we go.
This-
Okay, so we got 2 minutes left here, guys. Make sure you make the right
2
choice
minutes.
here.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Gotta put the horns up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you voted.
Okay, so we got. It looks like
Megadeth. Yeah.
so far it looks like we've got Megadeth running away with this one so far with 8 votes to 1 vote on
Real
Testament.
Real shame. Yeah.
Oh,
Practice what you preach. Quite a.
Oh, you voted Testament?
No, I didn't. Who did? Who voted
Oh.
Testament though? That's cool that someone did.
1-2 Comic Talk
Okay.
voted Testament. Yeah, nice.
Right on. Yeah. There's yeah. I do know a guy who's a pretty big Testament fan, so I can see why he, if he is on here, he would be. Ooh, I should have tagged that. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
I'm not saying names over the internets.
Yeah, and Kevin says I've always liked the little less known artists. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Wookiee Supremacy says it's gonna start getting real now. That first round was easy. Yeah, it will.
Yeah, it was.
Bipolar Nobody says off topic for one comment, but I gotta say, with everyone out there going, this stream has been fun. So refreshing to talk shop for a while. Enjoy a stream. Great job, guys. Well, thank you, Bipolar Nobody.
Is there a controversy going on that I don't know about? Do I need to state my opinion on it? What's it about? What's wrong?
Who
said something?
Need my opinion.
Yeah, who said something? Who said something that could be misinterpreted in a different way that could piss off people?
So, and Bipolar Nobody, we will be doing this again next Sunday as well. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at 2nd Street Marvel. On Twitter, I'm probably going to run some polls here over the next week to get some bands and things for some of these things that we're going to do next week. And here at the end of the show, we'll have... We'll ask you guys, what we're gonna put up a poll for what show we should do next week.
All right. Okay.
Let's see. Is the vote still open? No. The vote is closed. It looks like we got 10 votes in. 9 votes is what it looks like we've got for Megadeth to 1 vote for Testament. Okay, guys. So let's see here. Where is
Megadeth?
Okay, we got Megadeth moving on to the next round here. So let's go ahead and get Megadeth placed in here. Should we do it? How should we do that? Right there we go. Okay, Megadeth is there on the list, guys. So for the first round, it looks like we've got Metallica took the number 1 seed out of beat out Overkill. Slayer beat out Judas Priest and is going to be going up against Metallica. And then we've got Iron Maiden, who beat out Anthrax, that will be taking on Megadeth, who beat out Testament. Whew. Okay, so yeah, now it's gonna get a little bit more interesting here, guys.
Actually, I think I'm going to make a difficult decision here. I think I'm going to make a difficult decision. Okay, let's.
This is getting ready to get interesting here, guys. Mm-hmm. This is like Wookiee said, this is definitely going to be a little more interesting here. So let me get.
I think I know what the. Okay.
Oh man, I forgot to do that. The complete thing.
Was this your first YouTube?
Yeah. This is my first time. Okay, so then what do we got? We got one going against 5. So
that voice.
All right.
These comments are funny. Okay. We'll get to them in just a second.
Let's see. Bipolar Nobody says I already do. Wookiee Supremacy says I split a kid's lip in junior high for saying that Ozzy sucked. Just saying.
That's how it was back then. That's how. Yeah. I don't know what year it was you were in junior high, but yeah.
1-2 Comic Talk says great show. Oh, Yover Rhodes says 2nd Street do that again. Voice cringe. Oh, the that. Oh, I need to drink some water now.
So now we're gonna do a poll on who does a better resound. Okay, so Oh, I think Stryper should have been one of the
Contestants.
Oh well, they were in the '80s and they were a metal band.
Yeah, technically.
I think we explained earlier that we were trying to make sure we included bands that the most people would be familiar with.
What is this, bro? Here, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Bipolar number who says Striper comment just made me spit out Monster Energy drink. Oh man. Yeah, no, yeah, Striper, yeah, no, Striper's good. I mean, I get it. Okay, so guys, next up, we've got Metallica going against Slayer, guys. We're gonna have 3 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and start getting. Oh, you know what? Hold on. While we're sitting here doing this, let me go ahead and see what we got. Also got 3, and
yeah, I'm gonna
3 and 2.
I think I'm going to have to make a choice here.
What's
I'm
that?
gonna have to make a hard choice here. Do you know who you're gonna vote for? Or, so we already talked about the band, so maybe we should just go off what we're going to decide on and why we're coming to that conclusion. How about that?
But for what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and open up the polling here. We got Metallica going against Slayer. To vote for Metallica, I'm gonna open up the poll in just a second here. You're gonna have to put exclamation vote space 1 for Metallica, exclamation vote space 5 for Slayer. We're going to go ahead and open up this voting right now. You're going to have 3 minutes to get in your vote. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Timer started, folks. Timer started.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure you get your votes in here. Metallica going against Slayer, man. This one's actually pretty tough here.
Here's the thing. Just so we're 100% clear. Here's the reason why. It's going to show what my vote is anyway, so it's not like a surprise. I had to vote for Metallica because if we're going to go strictly off of what they did in the 80s, I've got to say, for me, almost without a doubt, the top album for me for the 80s was almost And Justice for All. If I had to pick one, And Justice for All. Because that album I listened to on nonstop for like 6 months. And then I put in like one other album, and then I listened to it again for another 6 months. It was the one that actually inspired me to want to play. So I've got to pick Metallica based on that. So, and since it's strictly their 80s material again, so I'm not saying that what their Load album was as good as what Slayer was doing at the time by any means, or
this would be an interesting matchup. Metallica and Slayer, say going into the 90s.
Yeah,
going into the 90s. I mean,
Slayer kind of went. They tried to be kind of I don't know what in the 90s also, but they were still pretty damn heavy. Like that Alien one. That one they were kind of like doing a little bit of the new metal sound on that, a little bit, if I remember correctly. Divine Intervention.
Okay, we got a minute and 20 seconds left, guys. We got 10 votes in. We've got 6 votes for Metallica, 5 and 4 votes for Slayer. So it's 6 and 4, guys. Make sure you get your vote in. And like I said, make sure that you to vote for Metallica, you put exclamation vote space 1, and for Slayer you put exclamation vote space 5 for Slayer to get that in there right. So let's see.
There, someone had to get that out.
Right. LB says, don't Metallica do Enter Sandman? Yes, they do, but that would have been one of their 90s hits.
Yes, so
would have been one of their 90s
we're trying
hits.
To be fair to the 80s.
Thank you for being here, Dog School. Welcome to the chat. I think I seen you got your vote in there. Fly Fox Pro says Master of Puppets. Absolutely. I mean, in the 80s, I mean, Master of Puppets. I mean, that's really a great album too,
Master
man.
Puppets, other than we're gonna get into probably if they go up against Iron Maiden, it's gonna be tough because Master Puppets was one of the quintessential '80s metal, and again, Metallica leading the way, people following them after that. They kind of carved out a new way of recording and writing songs, and that people kind of followed.
1-2 Comic Talk says, I saw Metallica open for Ozzy at the Long Beach Arena. Nice. Okay, guys, so it looks like we've got it in. It's 6 against 4. Looks like Metallica will be moving on for this on this round. Looks like Metallica beat out Slayer by what was that by two votes? by 2 votes. It was pretty close. It was pretty close.
Right.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to be easy. I didn't think there was going to be a runaway on this one. You know.
I assumed I would have picked Slayer, but then I just had to think about it for a few minutes. I just had to be fair. For me, Metallica was the metal band of the '80s for me.
Okay, so we're gonna have to. You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to do this. We're gonna have to move. Oh man, what am I doing here? Okay.
Is this YouTube or you boob?
Okay, we're gonna have to be moving us over here for the for this next round of the brackets here.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and put Metallica up in that sucker.
So let's see. We got Metallica moving on here. Oh, and we've got words all over here. We'll get that changed here in just a minute.
Hey, I don't mind Slayer being on my face. 5.0.
Let's see.
Okay.
There we go. All right, guys. Okay, so we got Metallica just moved on. Oh man, now I can see, and that was the problem. Is that now I moved us over the next vote. Let's see here. Okay. There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
So now we're gonna talk about Iron Maiden and Megadeth.
Yes. Next we got Iron Maiden going against Megadeth. We'll go ahead and get the poll opened here. This is going to be 3 minutes to vote for Iron Maiden. You're going to put exclamation vote. Oh dang it! See, and there, man, God,
Damn it!
gosh dang it. To vote for Iron Maiden, you're going to put exclamation vote space 3 for Iron Maiden. To vote for Megadeth, you're going to put exclamation vote space 2 for Megadeth. So, what is it you guys are going for? Let us know. Talk about it down in the comments below. This one should be a pretty interesting poll. Iron Maiden versus Megadeth. I know which one I'm going here.
I'm gonna have to go with.
What about you?
Again, this is just the '80s we're talking about. Now, if you'll remember, Rust in Peace didn't come out until the '90s, right? In '91.
Really?
Right?
Ooh.
Yeah. So 90 or 91. So that, to me, if that were included in there, I would have to go with Megadeth. But since it's not, I'd have to go with Iron Maiden. So there we are. Sorry, Dave.
You don't have to be sorry to Dave. He'll be all right.
Yeah. He's doing okay. He beat
Is he?
cancer. He beat cancer.
Beat cancer?
Yeah,
Nice.
he beat cancer. I mean, can you imagine as a guitarist what he went through when he lost the use of his hand and he had to reteach himself to play guitar? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The dude straight up. Much respect, but I had to go with Iron Maiden on this one. Sorry.
Yeah. And the voting is still open, folks. We got 8 votes in so far. A little over a minute left. We got 5 votes here. Going for oh god, who were they going against? It was Iron Maiden, wasn't it? Yeah, we got 5 votes going for Iron Maiden so far, and 3 votes going for Hexagon is. Sorry, I hit the wrong button again. Going for Megadeth. So it's I don't know. I guess it's somewhat close vote we got going on here. 5 to 3.
What
you know,
are people
it only
saying
takes
here?
yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the comments here and see what we got going on. Okay, where are we at here? This is unnatural, making us choose between these amazing bands. Yes, it is.
No one said life was easy.
I can see this coming from a mile away. Megadeth against Metallica. Ugh. Not again. Right?
That was going to be the first seed.
I saw Metallica open for Ozzy and Phoenix on that same tour. Sin Puppets.
Oh yeah, that would have been the tour to be at if you could have been.
It would be funny if Mustaine faces his old band in the final. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it would be. Fade to Black is one of my all-time favorite Metallica songs, says Micah L. Yeah, definitely. That solo, just ridiculous. Yes. Let's see. Oh, Bipolar Nobody said this was on. Man, did I miss these on the last round?
Yeah.
I must have missed these on the last round, man.
You were fumbling around with trying to get the
Oh, is that
graphics
what
on
it is?
that.
Yeah, okay.
I should have been going over the comments while you're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm not being a very good co-host, folks.
Thank
if you want
you.
to kick me off the show, you can vote down below.
Dave Mustaine deserves better, and it looks like we are done here. It looks like we've got 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, 6-3. It looks like. Oh man, dang it! Where'd we go here? Okay. 6-3. It looks like Iron Maiden took this one.
Wow.
Iron Maiden took it this time. Nice, man. Hey, man. That's the beauty of this, you know. I mean, you think, you know, you think it might go one way, it ends up going another way, and it doesn't, you know. Because I honestly thought that Megadeth might have had that one. I did. Now we've got Iron Maiden versus
Look
Metallica.
at this. Gosh dang it, I'm voting for Iron Maiden, but Sea of Madness versus that Sinatra cover song. Hey, he made that Boots Are Made for Walking sound good though. You got to admit.
Oh, okay. Oh, where was this at now?
Right, Robert.
Oh,
yeah.
God dang it, I'm voting for Iron Maiden, but Sea of Madness versus that Sinatra cover song. Come on, those boots are made for walking versus Peace of Mind.
Yeah.
Fly Fox presses vote Hexagon. Right? Yes. Wookie Supremacy says fuck Dave. Finn McCall says Mustaine was too hardcore for Metallica. Why they kicked him out of the band? He lived the metal life, whereas Lars, Kirk, and James have always been kind of posers.
You know what? I could see someone maybe saying that about Lars for some reason, but I can't really see that about James or even Kirk.
Okay. This is easy. Eddie wins. Ooh. Fly Fox Pro says, I'll just catch my tears in a rival and send them in a vial and send them to Mustaine. Bipolar Nobody says, it's only fitting Metallica win. They were the quintessential metal band of the 80s. Most people cut their teeth on Metallica. They are a super band. The Beatles is metal.
Okay. Well, we'll see. They haven't won yet. They got to go up against Iron Maiden.
Okay, so
Come on.
We got one.
Don't shine up that trophy.
And 3 here. Let me get this thing set up right. Okay, so we've got the number 1 seed Metallica going against Iron Maiden guys here for the final showdown, man. This is it. Okay, should we give it 5 minutes? Nah, we're not gonna give it. 3 minutes is enough, guys. We've been through this. This is
another very tough call for me.
Yeah, you got 3 minutes from right now, guys. Put exclamation vote 1
What do you think?
for Metallica, exclamation vote 3 for Iron Maiden. This is it, guys. This is it. This comes down to now. What's it gonna be, guys? What's it gonna be?
This is not what I wanted to do today. I did not want to sit here and do this vote. I think I'm gonna do. But I kind of, let's see.
I think you planned it.
No, I didn't have Overkill.
You're the one who put this. You're the one who made the seating up, dude.
No, I told you it should have been Metallica versus Megadeth right off the bat. Get that rivalry handled. Okay, vote 3.
Okay, so man, this is actually pretty tough. I mean, I am more familiar with Metallica. But I mean, we are talking about the '80s here, and Iron Maiden. I mean, that's really their biggest their heyday, really.
You know what? Here, I'll just say this, and this may affect some people who haven't voted. I think everyone's already voted though. But you have to consider the amount of material put out. Metallica would put out an album every 3 years. Maiden put out like twice as many albums as Metallica did in the '80s, I believe. So based on that, and the fact that they did Number of the Beast and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Oh my God! See,
yeah. Yeah, this one's pretty tough. Like I said, I mean, for somebody who's really into these bands, this one actually is a real tough one. And considering we're just taking into consideration just the '80s, just the '80s stuff. I mean, if we took the '90s stuff into consideration, I think Metallica might have this one a little easier.
Once again, since it is the '80s, it is their '80s material. I gotta say that there's one song. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and vote. I'm gonna tell you what that one song is. One song is all you need to know. As a tiebreaker for me, and that
for the exact same reason. Maiden says Wookiee Supremacy. Bipolar Nobody says this is so hard. Wookiee Supremacy says Lars is a giant douche.
I'm just voting. Okay, I'm voting right this second. And here's the deal. Here's a tiebreaker. I just thought of one song.
You got 44 seconds. You got 44 seconds left, man.
Damage Incorporated. That's it. That's all you need to know.
Okay, this is a tough call. Says Bipolar Nobody. Yes, it is. Wookiee Supremacy says. The Beatles are the most overrated band in music history. I can't say I really disagree there. Van Jexter says, screw Metallica. Jeez.
Wow.
Dang.
Who'd he vote for?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Fox5 Pro says, I'm on the edge of my seat. Robert Bocock says, Hetfield versus Dickinson. Power Slave versus the whole Black Album. But
no,
Mustaine
Black
and
Album was the
Ephelson
90s.
were Power in the Day. Yeah, Black Album was in the 90s.
Put Damage Incorporated up there.
Yep.
Come on.
Fox5 Pro says, yeah, should have given Iron Maiden the second seed. Quality versus quantity, says Fox5 Pro. Look at the Lost Souls.
They seem so black. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it looks like we got the poll is closed here.
Oh,
5 and 5, guys. We need a tiebreaker here.
Somebody.
We need a tiebreaker here, guys. We need one person to come into the chat. Is there somebody out there that is watching right now that hasn't voted yet? We got 13 viewers here right now, guys. We got 10 votes in.
Somebody didn't vote. Come on.
We got one person.
Buddy.
The second the next vote comes in, guys, we need one of you guys. 13 people here. We need one of you.
I can only vote once.
One of you.
You can only vote once.
You can only vote once. We need somebody to put in there exclamation vote 1, exclamation vote 3.
Flip a damn coin if you have to.
Text your friends. Text your friends. Get on your sock account. Get on your troll account. Whatever you got to do.
Saint Anger straight up blows donkey balls. You know what? I didn't listen to that when it first came out. That was the first Metallica album that came out that I listened to like maybe once or twice and didn't pay it much mind. I looked into it recently, and man, there's some good stuff on it. I don't want to say it's a bad Metallica album, but what the hell was he thinking with that drum sound? It's just stupid. It's just stupid.
Oh yeah,
and he was defending it left and right afterwards, but it's just how can you like record an album and say, yeah, that sounds good?
Okay, Second Street let him vote. Saint Anger doesn't exist, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
so
guys.
someone re-recorded it for them, and like this is what it would sound like if it was good, isn't it? It's good.
Where's Kink at? Did you text him?
Yeah.
Shit, we need somebody here, guys. One vote. We're waiting. We're waiting.
One vote.
We're not gonna flip a coin. Do we have to flip a coin, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Is it gonna have to come down to coin flips? Are we gonna have to toss it into a randomizer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, guys. One more person. Come on. Where are you at, you other viewer? Where's that 11th and 12th person at that's sitting out there watching?
One vote for a tiebreaker. Come on.
Come on, guys. Get them votes in. Get them votes in. Ooh, we got a 13th viewer that just came on. 13th viewer who just came on. Make sure that you cast your vote for exclamation vote 1 for Metallica, exclamation vote 3 for Iron Maiden.
Arm wrestle for it. Well, who was
Boom.
James?
Okay. Did we get this?
Vote
I wonder
3?
if it...
The Jedi Separatist. Oh, wait a minute. It timed out.
Okay, let's...
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Jedi Separatist, put your vote back in there again. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We got some... We'll leave it open. We got it open for another few minutes. We've got it open here, guys. Go ahead and get your votes in there. We'll leave it open for a couple more seconds here.
Okay.
Get your votes in there. Exclamation vote 1 for Metallica. Exclamation vote 3 for Iron Maiden?
No, it's over.
All right. Looks like we've got it.
Someone did it. Tiebreaker. Oh, the Jedi Separatist did it.
All right.
All right, that's what we need. We need a good Jedi in here.
Yes,
Use
there we
the
go.
Force.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to close the poll now, guys. We're going to close it. It's closed.
Okay.
Don't complain.
Yep, that's it.
5, 4.
We're really closing it.
Yeah, it's closed. I didn't really do the countdown. Okay, guys. So it looks like we got Iron Maiden ended up beating out Metallica.
Okay.
For the final. I don't know, the final countdown. Is that what we're gonna call it? For the final countdown, Iron Maiden takes it. They're not. What? Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Content
here we
strike.
go. Right. Now they're probably we need the advertising. It's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so Iron Maiden wins it, guys.
The hot rod royalties are running out.
There we go. There's let me see here. There's
Suicidal Tendencies.
There's the bracket we've got, guys. Metallica beat out Overkill in the first round. Slayer beat out Judas Priest in the first round. Iron Maiden beat out Anthrax in the first round. Megadeth beat out Testament in the first round. And then in the second round, Metallica beats Slayer. And Iron Maiden beats out Megadeth in the second round. And then in the third round, Iron Maiden beats Metallica to take the title of Best
That ends.
80s
That's it.
band.
No one can ever say anything ever.
That is it,
because
guys.
Of this poll, this is final and scientific.
Yep, scientific poll. It's completely done, guys. This is a done deal. There's no arguing about it. If you think one of these bands was a better band, you should have been here to cast your vote. I think this has been fun. I mean, 80s, like I was kind of still growing. I was a little kid in the 80s, so I wasn't as familiar with a lot of these. Like I know these bands, but I'm not as familiar with their music as I would have been through if we were doing this in the 90s. And the 90s, speaking of which, may be one of the topics that we'll do next week is 90s metal band.
90s metal band. And
we're gonna ask you guys right now, and we'll put this poll up on Twitter if we have to. We're gonna come up with what, 3? We got 3 different shows. Okay, we'll do next week. We'll do best 90s metal band. Okay, that's gonna be the first one. Best 90s metal band. Or
okay, we could do a band's albums, one band, and do their albums. I would like to do all of Suicidals, but I don't know if there's enough Suicidal fans out here. So
well, you got a week to do homework.
Yeah.
But okay, so we got best 90s metal band. We've got what about best 90s?
We could do the best bands or the best projects that what did we decide? Best projects that Mike Patton
did. Best Mike Patton project.
There's at least 8 Mike Patton projects we could go and do a contest on or do a poll on. But I think what we're trying to do here is make it a broad enough categories. Like the best bands of the 80s, obviously we didn't include like maybe some bands that people aren't as familiar with, like maybe like SOD or things of that nature. You know, there are a lot of, you know, MOD, SOD, there's a ton of thrash bands I can't think of right now that, you know, maybe didn't get the attention from some of these people. So yeah, we're trying to be mainstream sellouts here. So
but yeah, I'm thinking like next week we could go best 90s metal band, or we could go best grunge band. Should we do best grunge band, guys? I don't know. We could go best 90s metal band, best 90s grunge band,
best new metal band,
or best new metal band. What do you guys think? Best 90s new metal band?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, and that's one of those things that's kind of tough to categorize. Like, who do you consider new metal?
That would have been around in the 90s. We'll find them.
Yeah.
We'll find them. I mean,
Google exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We'll find them. But let us know. I mean, what do you guys think? What other? I mean, maybe we'll put up some other polls out there throughout the week to see what show that we should do. So make sure you guys follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter right there at the Second Street Marvel. It says it right there. It's pretty easy to follow. You can go follow me there. But do that. You know, you should do that. And next week we'll do this. We'll do the same thing with those bands. Maybe I can upgrade things and make it look a little bit cooler. But I mean, I guess congratulations once again, man. Congratulations to Iron Maiden, man. Iron Maiden made it. They made it.
Good job.
Yeah,
Peace,
dang,
fellas.
man.
Yeah. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah, so
Set of fellas.
yeah, so like I said, guys, make sure next week we're gonna do the same thing, guys. We're gonna have the bands on there. We're gonna decide if we're gonna do best grunge, best '90s grunge band, best '90s metal band, best '90s or I guess really new metal band. It doesn't even have to be '90s really, because new metal was really mostly a thing in the '90s,
right?
For the most part. I mean, it was probably fully dead by 2003.
Can we think of 8 ones that we even care about, though? Can we think of that many that we even care about?
Korn, Limp Bizkit, Deftones, Linkin Park.
So Deftones.
Who else would be on there?
Would you call Seven Dust in there? See, that's the thing. What really is new metal? Is it just metal that's created after this certain time?
Yeah.
Or do they have to have 7 strings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta have.
What are the
7
rules
strings,
here?
right?
What are the rules here?
Yeah. Supreme Heretic, thank you for being here. Says 90s metal band would be Pantera. Yeah, as I'm saying, I think doing best 90s metal band is probably the most feasible one. It's almost the easiest. It's almost too easy to do. You know what I mean? It's almost too easy of a show, because I mean, at that point we're gonna have to put polls up next week for who should be in that lineup of those 8 bands, which really isn't a problem. So maybe we should run a poll on. Maybe I'll run a poll on Twitter of who's your favorite 90s metal band. And then after that, we'll get a list of them.
Twitter?
Yeah. Oh well, most of the people here on my show, everybody is. But yeah, we'll figure out one of those to do, guys. But I don't know, guys. This has been fun. Like I said, I got this idea from Fanjecture. If you guys haven't checked out Fanjecture, make sure that you go check out their channel. He was here in the chats earlier. Adam was. Adam, if you're still here, feel free to drop your link down in the description. But Fanjecture is a really cool channel. They had this thing where they go on Wednesdays and they do the same bracket style tournament with
Toxic Waltz.
Oh, well, I might be able to put it up on Facebook too, Mike. So make sure that you follow me at the 2nd Street Marvel. But yeah, we got this idea from Fanjecture. It's been really cool. It's fun doing this, interacting. There's Fanjecture right there in the chats, guys.
Fans back. Fanjecture.
Yeah. No, he hears me say his name like what? Oh, where were you casting your vote this whole time, Adam? Where were you?
Exactly.
We steal your idea, and you can't even come here and hang out with us and be cool with us stealing your idea.
We had like dead air there for a second. That's not cool.
Bruh, come on, man. Come on, bruh. Add with us. What a shame, dude.
We gonna get on his show? I don't know now.
Oh, I'm gonna be on his show this Wednesday, as a matter of fact. Yeah,
okay.
I'll be on his show.
What's the category gonna be? Let's go ahead and plug it for him.
Actually,
Mr. Fanjecture, what's the category gonna be?
This Wednesday will be best. I think 2010s Pixar films. 2010s Pixar films.
2010s. Okay.
Fanjecture says I literally know nothing about metal music. Been watching the whole time. Well, that's okay. You can still cast your vote, man.
Okay. Yeah.
It's all good, bruh. It's all good.
Dude, no, we don't want uneducated voters. That's how we get.
Dude,
okay,
yeah, I was gonna say look at the elections. I mean, that's all it is uneducated voters. So hey, you're only adding to the fun.
I'm gonna get some free shit. I don't know. I'm gonna vote for that guy.
Let's see. 90s metal band would be cool. Says Supreme Heretic. Says Pantera. I mean, that would be mine all the way. Gamer tag is Thunderbuddy 2414 says Wookiee Supremacy. Robert Bocock says yes. Supreme Pantera is at the top of the list. Toxic Waltz. Anybody? Mike says I don't use Twitter. I'll put the polls up on Facebook as well. Yova Road says I loved it. I can't wait for more polls. You know what? I feel the same way. I love me a good poll. See, I did that. Yeah. I did the lip bite thing.
No.
I love that you did the stream. I love metal. Yes, Supreme Heretic. Yeah, and we'll be doing this again next week. Robert Bocock says, "You mad? Are you metal thrashing mad?"
Metal thrashing mad. You damn right.
Finn McCool says, "Thanks, that was fun. I'm going over to Doomcock stream later. All right,
Doomcock,
have a good one."
Yeah, that guy.
Fanjecture says, "Do country music." Is that there's not even 8 good country singers to put on a list. Like there's George Strait, there's Johnny Cash.
Nope, there's Johnny Cash, and then there's that Ween album, and that's it.
Yeah. And yeah, that's really about
The
it.
Ween Country album, which is
I mean,
great. You should check
you
it
know.
out. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to talk about.
Stripper poles? Mike L says, yeah, Trinity was always a fan of greasy poles.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh.
Well, you know, with this coronavirus going around, I mean, I need to be washing my hands anyway, but I've been washing them extra hard since I've been over here.
Right. But anyway, guys, that's all we've got for tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. It has been really fun. You know, like I said, we stole this idea from Fanjecture. It's really fun. Going over to his streams is really fun. Make sure you go check out his channel. Be there on Wednesday. I'll be on his show there with him. We're going to be doing 2010s Pixar films. It's going to be a good time because, as you guys can see, interacting in these kinds of things is always a good time. But that's all we've got for today's Music and Mayhem Hour. Sorry it was a little bit later, but we just had a barbecue with my friends and everything. Plus, I was kind of sitting here getting everything set up. We were having to come up with the bands and seating them and everything. It's been fun. But you all have a very good day. Thank you all so much for being here. No better time than to be here.
I'm doing chores.
Yeah. No better time than to be here hanging out with you guys. Always a pleasure to be here hanging out with you guys. Thank you once again for being here. You all have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow during the morning movie chat. Later. Oh, we did. But this is the first time too, so it's all good. This is the first time, so it's all good. Oh, now Chaos and Comics comes in all of a sudden. What a turd. Fuck that guy. I wish he could still hear. He can't hear me. He can't hear me. Fucking Chris, you get here all late and shit. Come on, man. What are you doing? What are you doing, man? I don't know what's going on with you, bro. I'm kidding.